Just whenever you get to it, just so you cut off. Okay, we're live.
Oh, we are.
Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to CNA Weekend Recap. Justin, Josh, Ken, and yeah, we really wanted to come to you tonight, having seen Thor: Love and Thunder, and tell you what an awesome movie it was.
Really wanted to.
We wanted to just really talk about how great it was to see a good old-fashioned, old-school Avengers level movie. And ladies and gentlemen, that is not what we're here to say tonight.
Unfortunately, not. And it's a sad day for all of us.
It stings. It
I'm
does.
heartbroken. I really am. This is going to be a spoiler discussion.
Yeah,
So I'm not pulling punches.
Anybody who has not seen the movie, pause, come back later after you have, but we can't discuss it without spoilers. So,
Kind of want to tell you not to waste your time, but at the same time,
Yeah, part of me says I want Marvel to get the point and make it a bad movie, but it hit me $160 million first weekend.
it'll make a billion.
Yeah, it's gonna make a lot.
yeah.
So Disney's not gonna get the message we want to send them, and the message is you're starting to pull a Warner Brothers.
Mhm.
Elaborate on that, please, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, so probably jumping ahead of you, but Taika
cares?
Waititi came out today and said that, or it came out this weekend that the original cut was 4 hours long. I think Hemsworth actually said it. He said it was crazy. It was a 4-hour cut. This movie, the release that we saw, was less than 2 hours long. Warner Brothers did this to Zack Snyder. They did it to David Ayers. They took movies that had a lot of depth and a lot of character development and slashed them at the editing room. And what we got in this film felt exactly like that. Like a movie that was missing something.
Yeah, something was wrong the whole time. From the beginning, I was there watching it when Thor was doing the splits and holding two ships apart. I'm like, something's wrong here. Something's wrong.
It was too much Taika Waititi. It was too much.
I never thought I would hear such a thing, but it's true.
For me, it wasn't too much Taika. It was too uneven because you had his style, but mixed with Christian Bale's Gore the God Killer, who was not in any shape, form, or fashion like a lighthearted villain.
But he was non-existent.
Yeah,
That's what I think we're missing. The 2 hours that were cut out on the freaking editing floor. That was gore.
Yeah.
That was development of one of the best actors in Hollywood. Christian Bale is there's only 2 or 3 in the world better than him, in my opinion. He creates characters. He creates lasting characters that we've talked about for years. Yeah. And he was wasted. First of all, he wasn't on screen much. No. And when he was, it was uneven. It didn't fit. He felt easy to defeat at the end.
Yeah. I mean, Marvel has a villain problem. They always have.
And this exacerbated.
Yeah.
This was one of the worst examples of them just totally destroying both a great character and waste of a good actor.
We didn't want to have this conversation, y'all, because we were so excited for this movie. We want to be on Team Marvel. We really do.
I wanted to see Gore slay gods.
Yeah.
We saw him slay the first god, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Gore the God Butcher was Gore the God Deli Man.
That's pretty cool.
Wait,
we got to give you props for that one. That's I like the flavor. That's good.
I'm a fan of the Gore the God Butcher comic books. His introduction into that, Mighty Thor, Female Thor, all that, and we had a lot of character development in the comics. We didn't get that here. It just kind of happened. I didn't feel connected to it. I didn't feel sympathy for him the way I should have.
But he wasn't there.
By the time Thor got involved in the comics, he had killed hundreds of gods in a barbaric, horrible ways. And this one, it was just shot a few.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like he even dropped like a couple.
Even Zeus was like he killed a few low-level gods.
Yeah,
right. That is not how it was in the comics.
Yeah, he's the God Butcher!
There's a reason Butcher is attached to his name.
Why did you introduce all these Egyptian gods if you were going to kill a few in this movie?
And they just did a terrible disservice to the Necrosword. terrible disservice to that.
Yeah.
It just was a power. It gave him powers.
Pop, he breaks it.
Dude, it's just there. It gave him powers and it fueled him and it does this and that. But
It
dude,
poisons
the
him.
Necro Sword is so much more complicated.
Can
It's
give him a
attached-
little background.
I'll be brief. It is actually the sword held by Null, the god of the symbiote. See, I don't struggle with that word, redneck in me. But it is actually the sword of the god of the
Symbiotes.
Look at you nailed
It's a running joke. But anyway, that ties it into Venom, sure, but it also that sword is so fucking powerful. It's not just what we got nerfed. It's
Like,
more.
super nerd.
It's more. It's so much more. It's just disappointing.
Let's talk about the completely uneven comedic tone. It treaded a line in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Thinly treaded that line. In the first time I watched Ragnarok, that first 10 minutes, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? I felt like that the first half of this movie. It evened out in Ragnarok, and I love Ragnarok. He took it too far. Because what he did is, we've talked about this before. 3 movies plus the Avengers, Thor had some of the best character development we've seen.
The best.
They just fucked it. I mean, they just took it and said he was the what if Thor almost. That scene where he wrecks the
What do you call that? What if guy? You got a term for it.
douchebag frat boy Thor.
Douchebag frat boy.
And he very much was in this.
He was kind of a basic bitch. He really kinda was. He was.
Oblivious, dumb, arrogant,
Yeah.
everything that you think of, that frat boy kind of guy. It destroyed all of the character development leading up to this. You didn't feel the weight of his life anymore. It was
lost.
Where's
Like
lost.
we did an in-game.
Yeah.
So heavy. I mean, it's so profound. This was just like.
He just, whatever, I got the hard body. And now I'm back to being, my old self.
One of the coolest moments of the whole movie would have been the shotgun blast Mjolnir, but they wasted it in the trailer.
See, I actually didn't see that in the trailer or notice it, so it was really cool for me. These two did.
Wasted in the
yeah.
trailer. We saw the cancer thing coming. We talked about it on here. We thought it was probably going to go that direction.
Yeah.
It did. It provided some moments of depth towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Jane Foster was probably one of the strong points of the movie.
I think
She looked incredible.
I think she was the strong point of this movie, honestly.
Her dynamic with Valkyrie was great, and apparently that was also left on the cutting room floor. The formation of Mjolnir and her forming a relationship with Valkyrie to the point when Thor lands and she's like, "Oh, we got a story to tell you." All that story was told in the 4-hour cut.
Yeah.
We didn't get any of it.
No, we didn't. We didn't get the establishment of the mighty Thor.
No.
She was clearly the protector of New Asgard.
So flat when she appeared. We saw it in the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, give me some
Almost
history, man.
completely.
I mean, so it's like it felt flat.
Marvel
That
made
should
so
have been a
many
moment
mistakes
that I
they
made.
never made.
Yeah.
These were Warner Brothers mistakes. Busting your nut in the trailer. Warner Brothers mistake. They do it all the time.
Jess is going to be quotable tonight.
Yeah, that's what we're going with. But I completely agree with you. There were so many. If you had always kept Jane Foster under the helmet, you didn't know who she was going in because we knew, comics fans knew. But I just spilled my drink, and
The whole scene having the fire and behind, it felt campy.
The people I went and saw the movie with, teenage children, adult children, I explained to them how the Jane Foster dynamic actually was, and both of them looked at me and said, "That would have been great if I would have seen that." To where when she becomes Thor, erases the chemo. The things that they've done in the comics, that this was just like they didn't go into depth as to why
Everything felt rushed.
it was so rushed.
Everything.
From the go, it was rushed.
Because if you
Jumps were
slice
rushed.
2 hours out of a story, you're not telling us the full story.
No, I mean, 100%.
I wonder if they were editing this movie like a week before it came out still and making a final cut because I just something was wrong.
Yeah.
It was
The minute I said
apparently
it,
way darker from what Hemsworth said. It was way darker. Gore went dark. The background with the cancer went darker. It was a darker movie, and I believe Disney pulled the Warner Brothers and said, people don't want that dark. They want sunshine. And so they gave us this just blast of toxic sunshine.
It almost kind of seems like they were trying to make another Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, like
Without the
heaviness.
genuine.
Yeah, exactly. That was the problem. Is it didn't land. You know, and if they cut 2 hours out of it, clearly it sounds like they have. You know, you can't even be mad about Taika Waititi doing that. Like, it wasn't his film.
No, I don't think we'll see Taika again. Try to say something positive. Kid, favorite thing about the movie?
Or something. Okay, yeah, there's okay, yes, yes. Sorry, Natalie Portman looked incredible. I liked something that they did do, that when Thor actually, without meaning to, put a curse on Mjolnir to protect Jane Foster.
She was not worthy.
I liked that. She wasn't that she was worthy. It was that he, in his douchebaggery, dumb shit, didn't know what he was doing, put a curse on Mjolnir to protect her, and Mjolnir answered that call.
Apparently,
I like that.
Probably left out in the 2 hours. He realized he could do that because that's how he knew to give the kids the power.
Let's talk about that. Since you brought it up, let's talk about it. I know there's mixed feelings on this panel on that situation. Myself, the fact that Thor can deputize anyone into the freaking powers of Thor, I thought that was fucking stupid.
I felt like Warner Brothers again. Was like, am I watching fucking Shazam?
It was totally Shazam. Nicely said, sir. That was totally Shazam. That's exactly what it was.
I liked it just for the fact. I agree with both of you. Canonically, it's terrible. But watching feral children murder monsters is one of my favorite things.
To November Rain.
I don't. Yeah. Well, Guns N' Roses, bring it on.
I didn't get feral children murdering monsters. It just, but
That's what I took from it.
I just want to go back to that. Feral children.
Yes. Because they were viewed with the pure power of Thor and weren't thinking. They had fucking just like rocks and sticks and
We
shit.
got a butcher with the baby moment.
Yeah, we did.
Blasting the bunny rabbit or whatever.
Yes. What were these weapons they picked up? They were like stuff.
They were just like stuff.
Yes.
And they were like weird shaped stuff.
And that's why it's feral children. It was like, hey, I found a sharp thing. Let's murder.
It's like
I mean,
sticks and rocks and
You remember like a year ago when we predicted that everyone was going to leave the room and Sam Raimi was going to take over and stupid shit would ensue? I think it happened.
I think Sam Raimi's sitting up there like fucking asking Kevin Feige. It's my stupid fucking world is coming true.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. That yeah. I'm gonna stick with feral kids being the best part of that movie.
That was your best part?
That was the best part.
This will tell you how low I felt in this film. My favorite part was the goddamn screaming goats.
I will say, however,
Like a 10-year-old meme. That's another thing my kid said to me was like, nobody's watched Screaming Goats in like fucking 5 years. Yet it was the best part.
they did stay true though. They named them Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder. And those were the names of the Norse mythological goats.
Every time they screamed, I laughed. You're sitting next to me.
I know I was.
Well, I'm glad I'm here for that. That's about it. Is there anything to cover about this movie that we haven't touched on? I mean, Tessa Thompson was badass.
Yeah,
Valkyrie.
Yes, I think she's
the representation finally confirming she was at least bisexual and had a girlfriend in the Valkyrie. What do we think about Korg being a volcano baby maker at the end?
I gotta say this. I gotta say this, and I don't know if this is true at all. But that moment hit me when I was driving home because he was making a baby with a guy named Dwayne who had a mustache.
No, literally, he called me on our way home. He's like, "Hey, that was Dwayne the Rock Johnson."
Yes, Because when
Go into that theory.
when
Just
Dwayne
take
The
it.
Rock Johnson first started wrestling in the WWE, he wrestled under the name Rocky Johnson and had this terrible, it was awful. It was so bad. But I have no proof. I have not read anything, but that is my fucking internal canon now. That is Dwayne The Rock Johnson that he's making a baby with.
Don't hurt your back stretching.
So
I don't even care. I want to tweet at him, make him figure it out. Like, dude, you know that's you, right? Like, you know, Tyke, you got his number, right?
So when we left the movie, you gave it a score of 7. Do you believe that has changed?
Yeah, I would say it has. It's probably dropped down to about
Ken, where would you put
Man,
it?
I'm a 3.5, 4. I mean, I the more I think about it, the more we talk about it, and I share and I think, but I was heartbroken. It's more than that. It's more than just saying it just wasn't a great movie. It's like I anticipated more. I wanted more. What do you think?
I started at a 5. When we left the theater the other night, I told Josh it was a 5. The more I think about it, and then after hearing that there's a 4-hour cut and some of the greatest actor in the world was just left on the cutting room floor, could have potentially been one of the best villains we've ever seen. That's what the actors are saying. 3.5, 4, if I'm being generous.
Actually agree for a change.
Marvel does villains dirty. We know.
But this is the worst. This
It
is
is.
right up there with Whiplash and Iron Man 2.
And we talked about that earlier before the show.
The actor, it says there's 45 minutes of filming I did that we'll never see.
Yeah.
Why are you doing it?
I think you're more being know what kind of actor.
Oh,
When Disney gives us the time to develop villains, what do we get? We get Loki.
yeah.
We get the Purple Man. We get Thanos.
I
When you don't, we get this bullshit.
it doesn't make sense. They know what works, but are still tying the hand behind the back. I don't understand that.
Why get
Especially-
these big venerable directors if you're going to hamstring?
Yeah, this is the first time I think Marvel has tripped in the MCU. I really do.
Ken, I think you disagree.
I felt like it had been tripping for a couple years now.
Really?
I really have felt that. I mean, there's shining moments that I'm happy about. And there's moments that low points for me.
Yeah.
I just something is off. That has been off for a minute.
You think Kevin Feige's gotten too cocky?
I don't know. I don't know.
There's that moment when you get so powerful and confident, you see it in leaders all the time, that no one can tell them no anymore.
The Michael Bay disease.
Yes.
That's what I call the Michael Bay
Yes.
disease. Nobody
I'm
tells you no. Nobody says, let's talk about that.
I'm afraid that's where we're at with
That's-
Kevin Feige.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Now
He's
his
been told he's the greatest producer that's ever existed by everyone.
I would hope, and this is just me talking out loud. I would hope it's not that. It's the fact that Disney has so many properties that he's spread so thin that he can't take a hand like he used to.
But he's not that thin though. It's not that thin.
Like I said, I just hope it's that.
He's juggling what, half a dozen at a time? I feel like he can handle it because he's handled it for 10 years. Why is it suddenly a problem?
I mean, like I said,
Does
that's
that make
just,
sense what I just said?
yeah, it does.
I mean, they were even years ago, they were still putting 3 or 4 Marvel movies out here.
Mhm.
We're just throwing a few TV shows. That should make it easier to tell the story,
Uh,
not harder.
yeah. He's delegating
It's
this
all-
to
it's
creators anyway.
It's like Warner Brothers did. It's like they're purposefully tripping themselves. You've got the damn playbook in front of you.
Yeah.
All of these comic books, the playbook is there.
Their talent pool is ridiculous.
Run
that
with
they
it.
have.
Just like you
I mean,
said
look at
with
this.
Shang-Chi, which I love the movie.
Mhm.
But the dragon could have been a character that was already established.
Right.
They're going out of their way not to give us the Mephisto moments.
Why? Why are we doing that?
I don't know.
The Shang-Chi, the demon behind the gates, could have been.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Why was it a nameless demon? Why in Thor: Love and Thunder is just this kid Love when she could have been the Star Brand, Quasar. There's so many characters they could have developed that are current in Marvel continuity.
But hey, Love and
What?
Thunder sounds sketchy.
It's sketchy, man. What the fuck, man? But and this concerns me for the future because obviously the movie ended with Thor and if you haven't spoilers, I'm not fuck off. but the movie ends with him and her going to war together or whatever, at least in the universe. But then Chris, I mean, he came out this week saying he doesn't want his daughter to be a child actor, and that's his daughter. And so maybe we'll jump forward or something or whatever. But it's like, if you look up the Marvel 616 character Love, it's fucking stupid. Why would we choose that character? It's stupid.
I didn't know that was a character.
It's a character.
Literally.
It's a real character.
Clearly, she's imbued with the powers of eternity. When she saw her reflection, she was eternity.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's another missed opportunity. Eternity. He just kind of was there. Just kind of standing there. He kind of standing there. Eternity has a voice.
he was
He
a
is-
worthless
he's like-
genie.
He just was there.
That's all he was.
Yes.
I'll give you a
Eternity
wish.
has a voice. He is a being that speaks.
The
and
score
knows
is
and
going
aware.
down as we talk.
Oh,
Okay, let's talk about the one thing
Oh!
we're all very happy about.
Yeah, that should have been the best one. All right, everybody, on 3.
He's here.
He,
Oh, yeah,
yeah, 1, 3. He's here. He's there. He's every fucking where. Hercules. Hercules. Oscar. You started on 1.
It's
But I literally said on 3.
okay. So the actor.
We nailed it.
Yeah. 100%. You guys want to go again? You try and get it right this time?
No, I think we're good.
It's fine. It's fine.
Fuck. Keely.
Anyway, if you can keep up with what we're saying, Roy Kent, the awesome actor, Brent Goldstein,
Yes.
is apparently going to be the MCU's Hercules from the after credit stinger that we got, and he's tasked by a wounded Zeus to make Thor pay. So we assume that would be where we're going in Thor 5, which hopefully is not directed by Taika Waititi.
Did you ever think he would say that?
No.
I mean, really?
That kind of hurt a little.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why.
Like, yeah.
It's like,
Either die that he live long enough to be the villain.
Jesus, now you're referencing
that
the Warner
character from
Brothers.
Ted Lasso, by the way.
Yes,
Ted Lasso.
Yeah, watch it. Me.
Incredible show. These guys told me to watch that shit for a year until I finally watched it. And it's like, it's incredible. Incredible.
He's happy. Pretty much.
Yeah, that was the best stinger. I mean, and he looks so good.
Didn't look comic book accurate.
Oh yeah, 100%. Even had the weird mace thing. I don't even know what you
The
call
mace
that.
and the headgear, and it was like,
Yeah, he was about to roll out and boot some ass.
yeah. And I heard a lot of hate online about him not being big enough. And I'm going to touch on it because Hercules is imbued with the power of the strength. He doesn't have to be massive in order to be strong as fuck.
Although he is strong, that's
He's drawn that way, sure, but he was kind of introduced in the drawn massive popping pet days. But I don't have to have that. I'm okay.
No,
with
I agree.
great acting chops filling that space over massive pet
Yeah, it'll
guys.
be interesting to see if he is great acting chops. Because the thing about him, I'm sure y'all know this story, but he was the writer for Ted Lasso, and
Great story.
they had not cast the actor
Roy
yet
Kent.
for Roy Kent, and he went to the producers and the director, and he said, "I think I'm Roy Kent." And they said, "Okay, let's read some lines."
My
He read
spirit
them,
animal.
and they were all like, "Holy shit!
Yeah.
You are Roy Kent." So is he a good actor, or is
Or is he just
Roy
Roy
Kent?
Kent? That's a fair question, actually. Is he just playing himself? Or is he an actor?
Picture Roy Kent as Hercules.
Just growls.
It's like all he did.
The entire, like, Thor is just, like, circling him, like, trading witty barbs, and just like, ugh. Yeah, exactly. Like, no words, just growls. He's like, fuck, come on, you cock. And yes, we discussed before the show, you can only use the C word if you use a British accent.
That's right.
Then it's okay.
You want to say anything else about this god awful movie?
What's it got? Wow, your score went way down.
Dude, I gave it a 3.5.
Yeah, I feel like mine's
I
going
mean,
down.
there's only a few movies that have been used 3.5.
Having a chance to talk about it's made it worse for me. I'm just gonna say.
You set a bar, like Marvel set a bar, and then you lay such a turd we're gonna jump all over that.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just I did not expect it to go to so
Turn
drastic.
on the bar, the juice.
Well, it would just split in half unless it was like diarrhea and it was
What the fuck?
Yes. Thor: Love and Thunder is like a diarrhea food.
on a wall. But not a drinking
I
bar.
was trying to think of an
Like
ever poop to bed joke, and I just can't come up with it. I just can't do it. I'm not clever enough.
In my head, it's like those uneven bars that gymnasts use, and like they flip up and then explode diarrhea
So-
and come down.
What? So Glenn,
What?
what? Glenn is
Are we
watching
just done?
to give our opinion. He wondered why we hated this movie, Glenn. I hope we have answered your question.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy.
My
Sorry,
bad.
Glenn.
Hit me up, man. We'll have lunch.
Glenn is I'm way too critical of these movies. I'm not helping my case today.
Yeah, not really. But in the end, it was not. I do think it was Marvel's first misstep, really. You know, all joking aside, it just
Certainly the biggest.
it was uneven. It was
I
rushed.
think we've been misstepping for the last couple of years. I'm not, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
What are we gonna talk about next?
Miss Marvel,
Miss Marvel. I don't
which
know.
I'm enjoying.
Yes.
I'm enjoying Miss Marvel very much. It is a unique story. I was a history major in college. I love history, and even that's a total blind spot for me. I didn't know about the partition. I knew about the British occupation ending, but I didn't know about the campaign to turn the Muslims and the Hindus against each other.
Welcome to the American education.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I went to college for this shit. They didn't teach me that.
Right. Welcome to America, where we control the information that you are receiving.
Yeah.
So just like the Watchmen series educating me to the existence of the Tulsa Massacre,
Mhm.
I have to count on Marvel.
Look up Black Wall Street.
Yes. And look up the partition. It was a horrifying moment in both Pakistani and Indian history. And I didn't know it existed.
Funny enough, I actually was taught that by a British show, Doctor Who, which is amazing. But yeah, that's the first time I learned about it. I looked into it. So yeah, it was a foreign country that taught me history.
So I enjoyed this episode, taking us back in time, although I believe they fucked up. Have you seen it?
Yeah,
You've seen it.
Yeah.
They broke their time travel rule. She traveled back in time, helped her grandmother see the stars that led her back to her
Instead of
father,
creating a new timeline.
instead of
Shit.
creating a new timeline.
I didn't gather that. Holy shit.
They
No kidding.
totally fucked up their own rule.
That's right. They totally did. You're right about that. But I mean, and I told you guys earlier today, I feel like the history stuff aside, because I agree with you on that, I feel like I'm being educated, which is, I do like that.
That's awesome.
I do like, teach me something. I'm that guy. I'll fucking absorb it. And y'all know me. I'll obsess about something for a while.
Can't go tell
I'll tune into something for a while and that's everything before I choose something else. But I feel like I'm just keeping up with the MCU now. I don't feel like I'm enjoying it as much. I'm just keeping up with it. I watch Miss Marvel because I feel like I'm supposed to. It's not wonderful for me.
Well, and we've talked about this in the past before. You know, after Thor, we're supposed to get an idea of the future of the MCU.
Where's it at?
Who is looking forward to Wakanda Forever after what we just saw? You, buddy? A movie we don't know the direction, and they're unwilling to recast the main protagonist.
Right.
It's going to be.
I'm not looking forward to that at all. Even though we're being teased the Mayan Namor,
Mhm.
it
We
feels
need to
like
cover that, by the way.
Oh shit!
Yes. I mean,
Think
it's
about
like, what the hell, man?
I do not have a problem with Mayan Namor.
Nor do I.
I think it works well because they're trying to separate Namor from Aquaman in the DC universe, and I think that's about as good as you can get, just culture-wise, who he is, and things like that.
I mean, I think that's pretty cool, but since the Mayan culture kind of disappeared, you know what I mean? The South American, that culture, they don't really explain. It's just gone.
Yeah,
It went below the sea. I think that's awesome.
yeah.
I think that's great. That's cool. I know, but it's like, at the same time, it's like you alluded to. we have no Black Panther. I have a tremendous problem with that.
The only way to make this work, in my opinion, is that if it takes place during the blip, Black Panther's blip, easy to write them away. You're dealing with a Wakanda that's thrown. They don't know what to do. Should they elect a new leader? Who they elect? Who survived the blip? And you
I
heard
that. That's pretty good.
You heard when they have the little council meeting in Endgame. Koye talks about a disturbance in the ocean.
She does.
It's the ocean itself. If that is the prelude to whatever Black Panther is about, and the rise of Namor and some type of battle between those two cultures, and it ends just in time for the unblip.
Yeah,
That's pretty smart.
Yeah,
If they did that, which I hope they do. That's great.
that's a great way to do it.
I mean, there's a great way to write out Chadwick Boseman for the next
And give
couple
them
of
enough
years.
time to realize they're being fucking stupid
Yeah.
and recast it.
Yes.
No, I never.
Which
thought
I think
about that.
you agree with that too. That they need to recast.
They
Black
do.
Panther? I think he's bigger than
Even his family came out and said
That's what does it for me. Is his family wants
once
that.
he said Chadwick would want it recast.
And that's the only reason.
that character is so important to an aspect of the world. He is. He represents. He's needed. I think it's
As
so
a
important.
comic book fan, there's just a lot of story left I want out of that character.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Shuri took the mantle in the comic books. Great. That's awesome. Maybe we get there. But we've only had Black Panther for a fucking blip.
Yeah.
I want more T'Chaka before it's over.
Yeah.
I want to see him with Storm.
Yes. Oh man. Bringing the mutants in, all that. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if he hadn't passed away, I think he would have been on the body.
Yeah. Totally. God. Forgot. Yeah. Totally. It's disheartening to me how frustrated we are with the MCU. This whole show has been us frustrated.
Yeah.
And that hurts me because I'm Marvel, as you call it, Marvel Homer. I think that's your term.
That is what
I'm
you are.
a Marvel Homer, and I have turned on Marvel because I am unhappy. This is not okay.
I mean, how crazy is it to say that if you take the bulk of what we've seen the last 2 years, Warner Brothers is winning? DC's winning? They gave us Suicide Squad, they gave us Peacemaker, they gave us Joker.
I don't like that too.
They've got a good argument.
They do. They do. I think eventually they'll fuck it up, but right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, mark this moment. Marvel is potentially losing to DC for the first time in a decade.
We
and a
saw
half.
that in our panels.
Yes, we do a panel at all of our cons with CNA where we do this debate: Marvel versus DC, and we talk comics, we talk movies, we talk animated, we talk TV, and it's almost always Marvel kicks the shit out of DC.
Right.
The last 2 panels that we've done with this at cons, DC has won.
Yes, and this is the audience making this call.
It is
It's not
100%.
us. The audience is dictating how that goes. So I don't know. We get She-Hulk in a month. Next month we get She-Hulk.
I'm excited about that.
You excited? But you just want a massive green.
Yeah, he just wants some spank bang material.
Ever and yes. Look, I want a green woman who can throw me over her shoulder, put me down on the bed, and just go to town. I'm sorry. How's that weird?
Specifically, green woman.
That's how we're gonna
That's a
show, I
whole
think.
World of Warcraft thing. Don't
It's
worry about
very
that.
niche. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm aware of it. I'm going to show you some videos after the show, and you'll see it's not that niche.
Rule
Thank you.
34.
Yeah, no sense. What?
Okay. We've been really negative. Ken, I know you don't watch The Boys.
I haven't watched it yet. I plan to.
The Boys ended this week. I don't want to spoil anything for Ken since he does plan on watching it.
Go ahead.
It was a good season finale.
It was. I enjoyed it. They, the boys. What I've always liked about it.
Tell you what,
You gonna step out?
Mhm.
All right, cool. No, what I've always liked about the boys is I read the comics, and so I kind of had this idea of what they were heading towards. That's actually why I came on the show initially. Because
Yeah.
I was the boys' expert. Love Sausage was my first episode on the show, and where they're going is so different from where the comics are at right now. And I really enjoy that because I thought there was this game plan. And so every episode is new. You know, it's not boring. It's very interesting. And a lot of shows that adapt books or comic books, if you've read them, you kind of see what they're doing. This one is not at all.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what I love about it.
Well, since Ken's gone, we'll talk a little more in detail. I thought the culmination of the Soldier Boy story was great.
It was.
Finding out the last episode that he was Homelander's dad, and this episode he thinks Homelander's a pussy, so he's all right to kill him.
Yeah, that kind of tees up, honestly, for the boys. Let's be real, you know.
Yeah.
They don't hold back.
The Butcher looks like he's gonna die.
Yeah, but he's gonna go out in a hail of fucking glory, if I had to guess.
I'm gonna go ahead and predict the Butcher takes real compound V and becomes what he hates.
That probably sounds about right because you know the lady took it.
Yeah.
You know.
So we have precedent now that adults can take it and survive.
Yeah,
And Butcher's a Homelander level threat when he has that power.
he did. I mean, he fucking put him on his ass. You know, it took him and Yui and Soldier Boy to hold him down, but I think he can go toe to toe with him.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily win and survive, but that's not Butcher's game. He doesn't intend to survive.
No.
He just wants to kill him.
He just wants to take down Homelander. It's just personal.
What's interesting to me is we have Ryan now, who, you know, in the beginning,
Homelander 2.0.
he treated Butcher as a father, and Butcher did, this was interesting to me, Butcher did to Ryan what his father did to him.
Yep.
You know, it was that, God, it wasn't even tough love, it was just brutal, driving him away because he doesn't care. And I think in Butcher's head, he sees Ryan as just another fucking suit.
Yeah. I don't know. He went out of his way to protect him at the end.
Yeah, he did
I
that.
think he's conflicted.
Definitely.
But the last scene of the show with Homelander blasting that dude's head off and the grin coming across his face.
And people cheering.
Yeah. And God, how fucking real did that feel?
Oh, way too much,
Hey,
honestly.
I mean, there are certain politicians out there that I believe if they could blast heads off, they would.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it would have gone like that.
Well, it was really uncomfortable, to tell the truth.
Yeah. So, looking forward to the next season. The Boys is some of the most unique hero storytelling that's being told out there.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. And the violence and the what the fuck factor, just every season is amped up. So I cannot imagine what next season's going to bring.
I don't know. Maybe somebody going this way is assholes. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, even that seems tried at this point.
Yeah, like you've done
You
that.
gotta
Like,
do
what the
something
fuck
to
are we
make
going
us
to
be
do?
like, oh, I didn't see that crazy shit coming. Just like the blowing up through the cock thing. I mean,
Some invisible
Nobody saw
person
it
that
coming.
blows people in their sleep and they can't see them, and so they just.
I don't know, like a worldwide mental orgasm or something. Anyway, I think the show's over. 'Cause
Yeah.
we have gone off the proverbial rails.
We always go off the rails.
I have a fresh drink, so anything else you guys want to talk about?
Margot Robbie is in rumors to be Sue Storm.
Yeah, or Emma.
Emma Frost, which I want her to be.
I would prefer Sue Storm.
Really?
Yeah, because
Let's explore this.
we have had bad Sue Storms. So
Bad Emma Frost too.
yeah, the X-Men still seem so fun. I don't know where it's coming. I don't know how it's coming, but I know the Fantastic Four is just around the corner. They're about to go into free thought. We need an actress that can play a good Sue Storm, and Margot Robbie is a talented actress.
She is.
I hope
She really
Marvel
is.
does hook her and attach her to something long term, regardless of which role. But I mean, in my mind, Emma Storm, I mean,
You just crossed them.
Sue Storm is a gorgeous blonde. Who's the most gorgeous blonde in Hollywood right now? Margot Robbie.
But Emma Frost is too, because Emma
She's
Frost
like white hair. You can put any bitch in a white hair wig.
I guess Jessica Alba as Sue Storm, for God's sake.
You're using Jessica Alba as a plus?
I'm not. I'm just saying.
She's one of the worst actresses literally to grace Hollywood in the last 40 years.
Hey, Dark Angel was very informative on my teenage years. All right, fuck you.
Was it because of her acting chops?
No, it's mostly back, tits, and ass.
I think about Emma Frost though is she mentally projects herself as the most beautiful woman. That's part of her powers. That's what she does, and she uses it against people. So,
Okay.
and Margot Robbie is about as
The
beautiful as they
most
come.
beautiful woman in Hollywood is the woman from Knives Out.
Which is which one?
The main woman who barfed every time she lied.
Really? What's her name?
I should know it. I usually
Let's do this. Who's the most beautiful woman in Hollywood? To you, and to me.
I was gonna go with Kat Dennings. I was so happy to see her in Thor.
No, you are broken, sir.
Shut up! She was smoking. She had those glasses. Damn. Want her to do that sexy librarian thing? You know, to shake it out.
I mean, I think it's hard to top the
Honest
aesthetic.
arms.
Nah, yes, you.
I think I need to see a picture of her.
Yeah, let me help you.
But
We're getting in a weird rabbit hole right now, guys.
it's fine. We have like 4 viewers, y'all. It's
Fair.
fine. Say what you want.
Glenn's just sitting here like, what the fuck are they talking about? Well,
I mean, for me, aesthetically, like when it comes to facial features, Charlize Theron is the most beautiful woman
shit, I
ever.
love her. Man, her in short hair and the old guard. Oh, she rocked that. God. All of you.
Show it to the camera. You can't show it to us.
It's a picture of a picture. It's how copy's getting worse.
Anyone want to disagree with me?
Not yet.
And she's about to play Marilyn Monroe.
Oh yeah, I read about that. Yeah, she does actually look good as a blonde. Ironically enough.
Yes.
Yeah. I wouldn't kick her out of bed for crackers.
Kick her out of bed for crackers.
You never heard that quote?
Yeah, but I don't think you. I don't think you delivered the quote.
Did I not?
Kick her out of bed for crackers.
Yeah, because they eat crackers.
It's like you're talking about white people.
Oh no.
Who's
they? He said it.
I think we can bring it in, guys.
The show is over.
Yeah, let's just
It's a great time to do something nerdy. Excelsior.
Bye.
Complete nerve authority.
Yeah, we just kind of started off the rails.
He's still got.